Welcome to the BNB. We have some amazing news for all of our viewers and for ourselves also. We have invested in a new company. It's a brand new addition to our portfolio. It's a company, the ticker symbol is BNB, and the company's name is obviously Airbnb. It's a company that recently IPO'd, not an old company. We are going to present the bullish and bearish factors of that company like we usually do. That's what the BNB stands for. Our goal here is to provide the most educational video to you guys so you guys can understand a investment from both perspective, and at the end decide if you want to invest in that company or not. Because we are not financial analysts, we just give perspectives, and a brand new perspective to any company is beneficial in our opinion. This company, the narrative behind the company is they are trying to disrupt the hotel industry. You yourself can rent your room on Airbnb for a cost, so you can generate income yourself if you have a room available. And for us, the travelers, for example, because I've used Airbnb many times myself, and I really like the services because the quality of the rooms are way better than any somewhat similar priced hotel. You can find Airbnb provides way better service, and it's cheaper, accessible. The accessibility is very easy also because you do it through an app, and also you are not surrounded with hotel stuff all the time whenever you use Airbnb, because when you go in a hotel you are obviously surrounded with hotel stuff. Me as a younger person, I do prefer not to be surrounded by them because they tend to see me as someone that will disrupt the hotel. Even though I have no intention of doing that, they will somewhat have that perspective because, let's be honest, young people do like to disrupt and have fun and party, especially in hotels.
So first off, I want to say that I am personally invested in Airbnb. It's a very small position, but I think as time goes on, I will want to buy more shares of that stock and bring up my position. So what is Airbnb? So Airbnb operates a platform for stay-in and experiences to guests worldwide. The company market models connects hosts and guests online or through mobile devices to book spaces and experiences. It primarily offers private rooms and luxury villas. The company was formerly known as Air Bed and Breakfast, but changed in 2010 to Airbnb. It was formally created in 2007 though. So that's the introduction of Airbnb.
So like we said, we're going to present the bullish and bearish factors. So let's get started with the bullish factors. The company has an exciting business model that will eventually rivalize all hotels over time, and maybe hotels are going to start integrating themselves on the Airbnb platform, which honestly would be legendary for the company itself. Like we said, there's a shift in generation, and the younger generation does prefer Airbnb. I myself am from the younger generation, and all my friends and us only book on Airbnb. We go to hotels if we're forced to, and Airbnb, for example, is not working or we're having some issues with the company itself. But most of the time, we do use Airbnb, and we love using it. So that's what I'm saying. And as we grow up over time, maybe in 10-20 years, we're gonna still be using Airbnb. We're not gonna move to hotels just because we've grown old. We're accustomed to their platform and we love it. So that's something that you can keep in mind. The business model is a generational thing that can provide value to everyone. Also, there's a lot of growth in the revenue. The revenue has been growing over time. And one great thing analysts predict, it's the average analyst predicts that the price target for it's going to be 179. So you're making up 19% from today's price point, and that's exciting for anyone making 19% in a year, especially on a growth company. The risk is going to be higher than the S&P, but especially remember that you'll still be beating it. And there's a lot of swing trading that goes on. So sometimes if you one day see your Airbnb position at $200, $300 per share, I would recommend you to sell it and then buy back later. That's something I usually do with companies that start to trade higher than they're supposed to, and that's what happened with Beyond Meat. I did say that once it was trading at 2012 because of good news. So you have some swing trade opportunity also when you invest in Airbnb, and my price for that would be over $202. You should sell your Airbnb position if it's within 6 months and there's no real fundamental change or fundamentally changing news itself. So you got to be careful of that. And like I said, some bearish factors that I can give you right off the top of my head is that they are unprofitable. The company itself is at this moment unprofitable. They're not making enough money. They're right now actually unprofitable, if you know what I mean. They're not making their revenue is negative. I am right now on a platform which is suggesting me all their good and bad points. And like I said, the news has been good for Airbnb. Yahoo Finance came up with some great news saying that people are transitioning from hotel to Airbnb, and even those larger families that tend to say 2-3 days, which tend to be more profits for Airbnb. The price to book ratio is 31.70, higher than normal, but it's a growth company, we know that. And the insider ownership, unfortunately, is 0.50%, which means that on the IPO, their insiders did sell. That is very negative. You need to keep that in mind. That's one bearish factor that you need to keep in mind and look into more. Why is the insider holding only at 0.50%? Does that mean that they dumped on IPO date? I know that the company is still a bit considered overvalued, but over time it's going to grow into its value and it's going to hit even greater heights that honestly I cannot believe. One good thing, the insider holding is 0.50%, but institutional ownership is right above 50%. 51.65% of shares are held by institutions. Institutions tend to hold their share longer, and at sometimes they do tend to short those companies as well to hedge their positions. Like we can see, the short float is 15%. That can be considered a good thing because we know that anything that's shorted over 20% tends to go on WSB, Wall Street Bet, and when something's on Wall Street Bet, we know that these companies tend to gain 50, 60, 70, 80, and in AMC's case, 400 to 600% within weeks. That is really something you need to keep in mind. Especially Airbnb cannot be put in the WSB categories because the short float is not as high. It's only 15%. But if someday somebody wants to short it if the short float goes up to 40%, 50%, keep that in mind that Airbnb will have the chance to be featured on WSB. And if it goes on WSB, the apes, the gorillas, the WSB boys are gonna make your stock go to the moon, and we will be the one who have invested beforehand and will make insane amount of money. But we need to know when to sell the company. That's something you need to keep in mind. Put price targets, especially in situations like that. I like to do that a lot. Like I said, my price target to sell within 6 months, if it goes to 202 or above without any great fundamental changes, is when I'm gonna sell the stock myself. So I hope this video brought value to you. It made you understand a company better. You understood the fundamentals. You need to do your own due diligence, of course. It's better for you, for everybody, for the people around you. Because if, for example, you don't have conviction in that stock, like I said, you might sell it at some bad day, especially if it dips around 20-30%, which it has the possibility to do very easily. Airbnb can go down 30 to 20% very easily within days, within weeks, because like I said, it's a very volatile stock. You need to keep that in mind. Matthias Woodley is aware of that. So, for example, like he said, he's going to grow his position over time. He's going to dollar cost average. So, for him, if it's at 91 day, he's going to be really happy. He's going to be dancing in the stars, and he's going to buy some more Airbnb. Myself, too, I'm going to be dancing in the stars if it goes to 91 day. Not because I'm unconvinced that the company is not going to go over that money, over 150, because I'm very convinced it's going to go over 150 actually, and it's going to bring me immense profit over time. And for you too, if you invest in it and you believe in it and keep it and hold it over time. All our companies, I have a lot of conviction in all my companies in my portfolio, and that's something I really like about myself, and that's what I want all my BNB viewers to have themselves too. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy your rest of the day, rest of the night,